about this Bryan Kohberger sentence that just happened a little bit ago. He was sentenced to 4 life sentences for pleading guilty to the murders of those 4 college students in Moscow, Idaho. Horrible, horrible case. And he is not going to get the death penalty. Obviously, he's getting life sentences, which was pretty controversial. And the hearing today lasted 3 hours. And it was an opportunity for the family members to say their piece, because there was not going to be an opportunity with discovery and all the things that would happen inside a trial for them to have their stories told. And so they had the opportunity now and they just, what was it, just yesterday or the day before, they dropped the gag order so that the family members could actually be speaking out about these things.
Yes.
And now they got their opportunity in court to read some statements. And the interesting thing was, we were trying to figure out, all right, how do we want to tell the story? Because obviously news is covering it and everybody's covering it, 10 different ways from Sunday. So how do we talk about it? And Laura had an interesting thought. When you were watching it, what were you watching for, Laura?
I watched it this morning, and I watched for a reaction from him because he's so cold. He's staring straight ahead. He's not looking at the families. In fact, one family member literally moved the podium to be in his line of sight so he could make eye contact with it. I think it was Steve Gonsalves. And
Kaylee's dad, yeah.
Kaylee's dad. I watched for where he flinched. What were the moments
What got to him?
What got him? What got under his skin in all of these people telling him how you've hurt us, you've hurt our families.
The loss, the never-ending emptiness that he created. And those were gut-wrenching statements from these families.
But there were 2 moments that I saw him break in the whole thing.
Okay.
There might have been more, but the 2 that I caught.
And we'll get to these in just a second. The thing that I want to highlight, and that I'm hoping now happens, that he has pled guilty, and that he's been sentenced to 4 life sentences. I was on the side of wanting the prosecutor to seek the death penalty.
Yeah.
I think that would have been the justice that this guy deserves for the crimes that he admitted to and pled guilty to.
Valid.
This was a horrible, horrible crime.
Yeah.
It was a vicious, dark crime, and that's what I think he deserved. But now that he's not getting that, and that's not even a possibility, what I would love is for his name to now go away and he doesn't get any more attention. I think that would be nice. Let's not even hear from him anymore. Instead, we can hear the names of the people that actually matter in this. Ethan, is it Zana? Is that how you pronounce his name? Zana, Madison, and Kaylee.
Yes.
And that's what their families now have the opportunity to do. They can now tell their stories, because you think about, there's so many horrible things about this story. But the thing that these families were robbed of is to see the fulfillment of these beautiful lives that they were heading towards, these kids. And that was stolen from not only the kids, but it was stolen from the families who put so much into, you plant these seeds and you grow these children, and this horrible thing happens, and these lives that are not realized and not totally fulfilled are snuffed out, and instead you keep having to hear the name of this monster. And so I'm hoping that his name goes away, and then instead they can focus. And I think that James Patterson book that just came out recently, he said that was, and he co-authored it with somebody, I forget her name. He's the big fish in that duo, though, obviously. But best-selling author, he dove deep into the story, and he said one of the reasons that they wanted to dive into it is because he wanted the opportunity to share the stories of the people, the victims, and not keep focusing so heavily on this guy. Yes, he's part of the story, but it's the victims. That's the tragedy part. But all right, family members got a chance to address him directly. Quick side note, I don't even know how this is possible. I don't know how you sit there and compose yourself after having been silenced for so long. You literally gag orders. You're not even allowed to speak about it. And then you have one opportunity. Just think of the pressure that you would be feeling. Think of all of the emotions and everything. You want to say it right. You're trying to do justice by your
child.
Beloved children
your
that you've lost. Your sister, your daughter, your son.
Brother,
And you have just this limited window of time where you can address this monster. And do you even choose to do that? Do you even acknowledge his presence? Or do you take the opportunity to say something and hopefully it has some sort of an impact? God forbid anybody has to ever put themselves in that situation, but these families were in that situation. And they said some stuff. This is Steve Gonsalves. This is Kaylee's dad. And this is what he had to say. And he's the one who moved the podium. Is that right, Laura? All right. He moved the podium, tried to get into that monster's eye line. And this is what he had to say.
Within hours, we had your white car on camera. We knew from the very beginning we had you. Police officers tell us within minutes they had your DNA, like a calling card. You were that careless, that foolish, that stupid. Master degree, you're a joke. Complete joke. The world's watching because of the kids, not because of you. But we took this disaster, and we did what we could. You're not worth the time, the effort to be remembered. We put everything online. We took our kids. We took our images. In time, you will be nothing but two initials, videos, their photos, forgotten to the wind. No visitors. Girls' pranks. Nothing more than initials on Ethan singing. Wise. We put it out there. We shared it with the world.
Damn. Good for him.
You spoke to it so beautifully. I can't imagine. I can't fathom how you express the pain and the loss as a parent. That's the greatest nightmare any parent faces. Is any harm coming to your child, let alone your child being taken from you by a monster like this. And Laura, you caught this as you watch. I commend you for being able to sit there and watch this because it was hard to listen to. I didn't even try. I couldn't even bring myself to watch it. But you said you noticed something about him, and that was it. Right?
That was the first moment that I saw him flinch.
That he was going to be remembered as nothing.
Yeah.
That what insulted who he was.
When he said, "Master's degree, you're a joke." That got under his skin.
Yeah.
So he thought he was this criminal serial killer genius.
Yeah. And none of the expression of loss and of pain moved the needle at all for that. Didn't even get a flinch out of that guy. But when they attacked him on a personal level, that's what moved him.
This is Stratton Kernodle, Zana's uncle. Am I pronouncing that name right? Is it Zana?
Xana.
I keep getting that wrong.
She used to tell people it was like Xanax without the X.
Okay.
I like Xanadu with that.
That's funny.
Lovely young woman.
Yeah, probably Xanadu would be. Yeah. That would be a dated reference though to somebody her age.
I'm dated. Give me a break.
That's true. All right, this is Xana's uncle Stratton, also speaking to that monster. I'm not even gonna say his name anymore. I'm done with this guy.
I wanted to direct it another direction toward Bryan and what he's done to his family. His parents, his siblings, his friends, his universe. He has contaminated, tainted their family name, and pretty much made a horrible, miserable thing to be ever related to him. And I know that that's what he has to live with, and that has to be his pain.
I think that's a really smart tactic to try to turn it back on his family.
Right.
I was reading that was part of the consideration for why this didn't end up going to trial.
What do you mean?
Was the family, things were going to be revealed during the whole process that would have brought his family into a pretty harsh light.
Okay.
Not that they did anything wrong. But there was phone calls that happened. He was on the phone with his mom for like an hour the morning after it happened. There's all these things. And yes, what a tremendous, not only the loss of their, you love your kids no matter what, even when they do wrong, even when they do something monstrous like this. I guarantee you his parents still have love for him. They may not understand what's happening or how he could end up like this, like the rest of us. But you never stop loving your kids.
Yeah, no, I see this. Yeah.
And now they've lost a child too, essentially. That's tough for them. Yeah, I feel bad for his family.
That's a great way to look at things.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Because you can't let your heart be broken or diminished because someone does a monstrous act like this. You have to maintain who you are as a person. As a parent, you still have to. Yeah.
But again, that was his other flinch. Was when
what you've done to your family. Yeah.
The only times I saw him crack it all were about himself.
This is the one. Is this kind of the one that went most viral? The Kaylee Consalves's sister Olivia. Listen to this. This is pretty. I mean, I just fired around the internet immediately.
The scariest part about you is how painfully average you turned out to be. The truth is, you're as dumb as they come. Stupid, clumsy, slow, sloppy, weak, dirty. Let me be very clear. Don't ever try to convince yourself you mattered just because someone finally said your name out loud. I see through you. You want the truth? Here's the one you'll hate the most. If you hadn't attacked them in their sleep, in the middle of the night, like a pedophile, Kaylee would have kicked your ass.
Dang.
Wow. Sorry.
Do we have the A's comment about his grades in school? Do you have that one?
Ooh, not on me, but that was a great one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spike, can you paraphrase what that was?
Yeah, was that the same sister who made? Because that was the comment I've heard from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may have got A's in high school, you may have got A's in college, but you're gonna get nothing but big D's in prison.
Yeah. Was there any flinch at that? Did you see Laura? When yeah, it's quite a line. Quite a line.
But your point about this guy, now we can just close the book on this.
Now we can close the book on
garbage,
him. Yeah.
And never have to hear his name.
Don't give him any more time.
And you're very passionate and adamant, and you're correct and authentic in your expression of, I'd like to see this guy go to trial, get the death penalty, and get the juice. You know, I mean, that's what justice would tell us this guy's earned.
For me, I mean, that's
No,
what
and I hear you, and I respect that
point.
point of view. But, you know, the fact that we won't have to listen to this for another year and a half, we won't have to see this go through the trial process, the ultimate conviction of this loser, this piece of garbage, and then the appeals process. And, you know, hopefully now we can just never again.
Yeah.
Like his uncle said, two initials.
He gets thrown
on an
into
unmarked
a hole,
grave.
Memory hole, disappears. Yeah.
Hard.
There are some benefits to it. I see that.